Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy, the Handmade Homeschooler, and today we're going to do kind of a check-in because it is the end of the first quarter or the first semester of the 2021-2022 school year already. I can't believe time has gone by so fast. So if it's your first time here, I want to welcome you to my channel and make sure that you hit the like and the subscribe button. And when you subscribe to my channel, you're going to get all kinds of videos about homeschooling, education, children, and homeschool life and things that homeschoolers and homeschooling parents just have to be involved in. So if you have a lot of questions about homeschooling, this channel is a great place to start. Also down below in the description box, I have a link to our free Facebook group where you can join in as a new homeschool parent or experienced homeschool parent. If you're just looking for people to chat with, this is a great drama-free place to find your tribe. So let's have a little chat about the first quarter. Really, this year has it's had its challenges, to be quite honest. So let's talk about some of the individual subjects that we've been doing. So my oldest is in ninth grade, and his favorite so far, his favorite subject has been Canon Press's Introductory Logic course. And I have to say, this has been my favorite class too. I have learned so much. Even all throughout high school and college, I never got to take a logic course. It was not something that was really offered to me. And this course has been fantastic. This is great as almost like an introduction to apologetics. It really teaches you how to take truths, and I don't want to say like it teaches you how to argue, but it really does. This is such a great course. I think that every Christian should just pick up this book. Honestly, it is such a great course. So this is one of the courses that I think has been the most beneficial, and it's not just an elective to my son. Like, this is like an actual fun class for him, so that's really great. So on the other side of the spectrum is biology, and this is Apologia's biology. And just to give you a glimpse of how big these books are, this is the textbook, and it's like 10 pounds. So I think that this is the course that has been the most difficult for all of us. We're taking it slow. I've had a lot of questions about biology from so many of you. So many of you are going through this course with me, and I feel like we're all kind of going through it together. And I've had a lot of questions about how we are doing in this course. This course is a hefty course. I'm not gonna lie. This is a really big course. There's a lot of things in it. There's a lot of experiments. There's a lot of lab reports. There's a lot of definitions. There's a lot of quizzes and tests. And the one thing that I keep telling everybody is go slow. You do not have, at least in my state, okay? This is how I'm doing it, okay? So I'm in North Carolina, and basically you have to have a certain number of hours to get a credit when you're looking at high school. So the way that I'm doing that is I'm not pushing him to finish this book all the way by the end of the school year. If he doesn't finish it, it's okay. And here's a tidbit for a lot of you. There are more times than not that teachers in public schools do not finish the entire textbook, okay? They do the same thing. You are not required to finish an entire textbook to get a credit in most states. Now, if there is a state that is, and I'm saying because for most states, because I don't know, there might be some state out there who actually does require that. I don't know all the state standards by heart, obviously. So I'm just telling you, you do not have to finish an entire textbook to say that you did the entire course. Not all courses are going to be like that, but I think something like this, that's definitely true. Take it at your own pace. If this is too hefty for you, it is for us, like it is a load. It is a huge workload. Go at your own pace, go slower, take your time through these modules. You don't have to rush through them. And if we don't finish by the end of the year, oh well, we can either go into the next course, or we can go over it more in the summertime, or we can extend it into next year. We have been doing Logos Press, which is Canon Press, their their New Testament study for my oldest for Bible. I think we might actually break and pick up this one for a little while and kind of just switch things up. This is Basic Christian Living, a survey course on practical Christianity by Douglas Wilson. There's a lot of really good material in this book. So I think we might break for a little while, try this, and then go back to New Testament study. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. There's a lot of just really Christian 101 type of things in here that I think is really good for high schoolers. So I think we might switch it up a little bit. So let's move on to my youngest. He is in 5th grade, and he's kind of split in between grades. Technically, he's a 5th grader, but he does a lot of 6th grade work. And he's going to be switching over here pretty soon to some other things. So I'm excited to see what he's going to be doing. He's finishing up some things from last year because we don't like to waste curriculum. So if we don't finish in one year, we kind of just like pick up from the previous year. And so we have been doing the end of the read and think skills sheets. This is grade 4. He's going to be going into grade 5 and grade 6 here pretty soon. He is just flying through these with, you know, he's getting all of them correct, which is really good because these are, so the read and think skill sheets. I'm going to show you kind of an example of what it looks like. If you remember the SATs, this is kind of like where you read a passage and answer questions. So you have a passage on this one side, and they get a certain number of minutes to read the entire passage. And then after that time is up, they flip the paper over, and without going back to the passage, they have to answer all the questions. They are all multiple choice, and it really gives you an idea of where they are with reading comprehension. And these are, I think, one of the best things in my arsenal to kind of see where they are level-wise, because Abeka is really good with phonics and reading. So this is a really good measuring rod to see kind of where they're at and if they are comprehending passages that they're reading. So if you have questions about reading comprehension, pick up some of these from Abeka. They're only like $10 or $15 online, and it's a great tool to have in your toolbox. So with that, I also have him reading the Abeka readers as well and answering the questions, and we're just adding that to the IEW stuff. And speaking of IEW, both of my kids are about finished with IEW. So they are in week, I don't know, 21 or 22. They should be finished by the time we go on Christmas break. So I also want to talk about My Father's World. My Father's World is our spine, and my youngest is doing Creation to the Greeks, and my oldest is doing their 9th grade high school, which is the ancient literature. And both of them are doing great. We are doing mainly the history part of the My Father's World, because as you can see, we add in, you know, math from teaching textbooks and IEW for language arts. And the packages typically come with science. So Creation to the Greeks, this one comes with science in the beginning. So we're using this one to kind of go along with it. So this is still here, My Father's World. And there's a lot of good projects in this, but because I have been so sick, a lot of the projects we have been skipping. And I feel bad about that some days. Some days I feel really guilty about skipping the projects. But the reality of it is that if I skip a project, we at least go over it. And I've also been adding in other things. I have Apple TV, and we watch all kinds of things on Apple TV relating to whatever we're studying in here, just to kind of go further into the subject. So right now we're still studying Egypt. It feels like we have been in Egypt for an eternity. I think we're about to get out of Egypt here pretty soon. I hope so. It is. If you're doing Creation to the Greeks, Egypt is a long subject in here. Like, I'm talking a couple months. But I think we're finally getting out of Egypt, because we are up to the plagues, the 10 plagues in Egypt, and we're about ready to cross the Red Sea and get out of Egypt. So hallelujah for that. I'm ready. But we haven't had, my kids have had a great time in Egypt. Egypt is actually one of their favorite subjects to study. I feel like I've had my fill over the last couple years of Egypt, but they've really enjoyed it. And there's also something that I want to say about the textbooks. So both of my kids, for their My Father's World textbooks, have Usborne books. And inside, you are going to see, you see this right here? It says with internet links. If you open up the book, and this, I don't want you guys to skip this, and I don't want you to miss this. They have, up at the top, these little notes right here. And it says internet links for websites you can uncover the mysteries of whatever the page is talking about. And it has a link to a page. You're gonna go to that link, select your textbook, and select the page that you're studying that day. And they have all kinds of extra resources to take whatever you're reading and bring it to life. They have things from museum curators, from inside the museum, tours, just all kinds of really cool things that you can expand upon your daily readings. So highly, highly recommend that you go and take a look at that, go see what it's all about. And that's kind of part of the way that I've been expanding upon some of these things when we haven't had the time, or I've just been very sick and we haven't been able to do some of these projects. That's another great thing that you can do to kind of expand upon what you're reading. All right, guys, so I'm gonna end the video here because this is kind of like an update on everything here, and just kind of like a check-in on our first semester and how things are going. And this video is way longer than I intended it to be, but there are a lot of subjects to get through, and you guys have had a lot of questions, so I wanted to make sure that I got to a lot of the big ones that I keep getting asked about. So hopefully that clears some things up. How has your first semester gone in your homeschool? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear about your first semester. I will see you in the next video. I hope that you guys have a great day and happy homeschooling.